Hey guys, welcome to Damien Jardina Auto Experience. I know it's been a very long time since I've been doing a podcast. I think the last podcast I've done was 2019, so quite a long time. But it's 2023 and we're getting back into it. So starting off my first podcast of 2023 with a special guest, Catherine Tsianakas, right? So a bit about Catherine, I'll tell her and she can introduce herself. I know she's bust into. So Catherine and I met 2 years ago. She's also a personal trainer, so we share similar values. She's also a mindset coach as well. So she does help with my current clients at the moment in terms of mental barriers, beliefs, limiting beliefs, and so on. So I want to be able to bring her onto the podcast today, which we can chat about health, wealth, mindsets, 7 pillars of health. That's what we're going to be really chatting about today. So a bit about Catherine is she can let her chat. I'm talking too much. Catherine, explain to the people who you are, what you do.
Okay, thanks for the intro. So basically, yes, I am a life coach and mindset coach. I also am a personal trainer. I do specialize more so the mind-body connection when it comes to training. So this is why I am here today with you, because Damien does work with clients who require the full body experience. So that's why we're going to be chatting about our 7 pillars of health.
Done. Great. So obviously we've been chatting about this throughout the week and just kind of organizing what's the best in topics we can chat about today, but obviously we work out 7 pillars of health. So let's dive into it. So what you tell me, what's the first pillar of health that we can chat about today?
Look, I believe that the 7 pillars all intertwine with each other. So let's start with fitness, since we're both in the fitness industry. Let's chat about how fitness is a health pillar. What's your belief?
Yeah, so great question. So fitness, movement, same thing, right? So the reason why movement is so important for health is because it is, right? And movement is so important, guys. Like moving for a daily basis, anywhere between half an hour to 1 hour per day is so important for our mental health, our health overall. If we aren't moving, we aren't thriving. We aren't moving, we're not reducing our stress. We aren't moving, we aren't getting into a better sleep. If we aren't moving, we're putting on weight, right? So movement is so important. But as we know, when we move, okay, we're releasing dopamine, serotonin in our body, we're releasing endorphins, right? Movement could be like things like being a part of a soccer team, playing tennis, going to the gym, going for a swim. All these things, depending on what your kind of movement is. I love running, right? And when I run, I feel absolutely awesome, reduces my stress also. So find what you love about movement and do that every single day for the rest of your life. The second pillar, I'll go into the second pillar, is sleep, right? Sleep is so important. So why don't you tell me a bit about sleep?
Look, sleep is important for recovery. It's good for mood regulation. Sleep helps with your immune system. Sleep helps with a lot, you can imagine. So what have you come across that you find sleep?
Yeah, so sleep's so important, especially we're working with businessmen at the moment, especially me being an entrepreneur myself. So sleep is so important. Ever since I started optimizing my sleep using a technology called Oura Ring, right? So a ring that I put around my finger helps me track my sleep and my sleep metrics. It's been so important. Like it's been absolutely game changer in my life. So I'm tracking my sleep because here I am thinking, my sleep is good, my sleep is great. But once I started tracking my sleep, I realized I'm actually getting crap sleep, right? And I thought, because a lot of people, what they do is they think that they're getting good sleep, right? Yeah, I'm getting the right sleep. Yeah, I'm waking up. How's your energy? Yeah, my energy's all right? And I was always that person. But until I started tracking my sleep, I realized, wow, there's so much improvement to make, right? So once I looked at my sleep metrics, I realized, oh, it's actually fun because I actually need to start improving my sleep and just make the massive change to my energy levels.
And when you did improve your sleep, like how much of a difference did you feel? What things did you start feeling?
Yeah, so once I improved my sleep, my stress went down, right? I was more productive in my business. I made more money. I had energy for what was important to me. My performance in my gym went up, which increased more muscle size, more strength. And I just had energy overall. I just felt so much better. And it's so important because when I improved my sleep also, right, my gut health started changing, right? Because when... Well, that's another pillar, gut health, which we'll get into. But when someone that gets poor sleep, they get high stress, and when someone gets high stress, their gut kind of cramps up. So you get poor nutrient flow, you get all these digestion things, you get IBS issues, and so on. So by literally fixing up your stress, which we'll get into, that's another pillar. We'll dive into pillars very quick.
You can see how they're all intertwined.
all intertwined. Like sleep is so important, like especially for fat loss as well. If you're someone that is having poor sleep, right, and trying to lose weight at the same time, it's gonna be fucking hard, right? As we know, caloric deficit is number one for losing weight, right? But if you're having poor sleep, that means you're gonna have more cravings, right? You have more cravings for carbs. Carbs are not the enemy, but you're gonna be binging on a lot of foods. You're gonna be consuming more, being in the surplus, right? You're not gonna be moving much because you're gonna be tired and you can't be fucked to go to the gym. You can't be fucked to move. You can't be bold to get your steps up, right? Number three, you're gonna be like more stressed, right? When you having sleep, more stress. When you have more stress, more alcohol, more addictions, more bad things are gonna come into your plate, right? So this is why sleep is so important for weight loss. So once you start improving your sleep, weight loss is gonna be so much easier. So sleep is a massive topic to talk about, but that is definitely one of the pillars.
Almost like a butterfly effect. It just affects every area of your life.
So important, so important.
Well, you mentioned gut health. So why would that be a pillar of health?
Yeah, so as we were talking about before earlier, like your gut is a second brain, right? And people need to understand that, right? If our gut is off, our brain's off, right? If we're having foods affect our emotions, right? I know. What we eat is how we feel, right? So if we're consuming foods that disagree with our stomach, right? We get bloated, we get any IBS issues, right? These are gonna cause a negative effect on our mindset, right? And that means we're gonna have low energy. People that have gut issues are gonna find themselves low in energy, anxiety, depressed, also as males, low testosterone as well. So by testing your gut, looking into your stools, looking into your gut health and start improving your gut health, you're gonna see an overall improvement, not just in your energy, just clearer mind, more productive, you're gonna feel 10 times better overall. What about you? What's your experience about gut health?
I completely agree. I think gut would be more so your first brain. Yeah. You know, it sends signals and vice versa, your brain to your gut. I've had my own experience with inflammation in the gut and leaky gut, and I got onto a protocol that helped restore all of my gut microbiomes and all of that, and changed my diet. And I didn't realize how much it actually affects your whole well-being until you actually get on top of your gut health. Yeah. Like, it's so important. It affects all areas of your life. Your energy, which then your energy affects your mood. And when your mood's good, then you're productive. And when you're productive, everything just flows so well. So gut health is a massively important factor to your health and well-being. 100%. It's so underrated. How do people not know?
It's so huge. And there's a test that I try and get myself and my clients to do every second year is the colonoscopy, right? Gut health is so important, guys. So by going internally to look at your gut health to see if there's any parasites, because that's probably one of the best tests, right? Apart from doing a stool test, that's great to test for parasites, but doing an internal test to see if there's any things like leaky gut, any intolerances and so on, that's so important, because once you improve on your gut health, it's a massive change, because I suffer with I'm lactose intolerant as well. So, and I didn't know that, right? I was having a shitload of dairy. I was going to the fucking toilet doing diet. I'm not going to get into that, but I was off, right? I was off. I was getting a lot of pimples. I was tired, depressed, low in testosterone, and my gut was off, and I just felt overall fucking crap, right? This is when I was playing pro football. So ever since I've done that test, right, done the colonoscopy, I realized I'm lactose intolerant. This is why I'm having all these issues. So once I started like reducing any type of dairy products, gluten products, my life is so much better. My skin's better, my energy's better, my performance in the gym's better. I'm having better sleep, better mood. You know, that's gonna help with my business as well. So yeah, one great test is doing that colonoscopy, which I love every second year. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And you're right, mentioned pimples and things coming out of your body. Your body will tell you, hey, something's off.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's that connecting with that body as well, going, oh, what's going on here?
Yeah, and that's also nutrition as well, which is the third pillar, right? Fourth pillar. So we'll dive into the next, nutrition. So so obviously nutrition is so important as well. Like obviously nutrition and gut health are intertwined, right? What you eat is how you feel, what you eat is how you look, right? So if you're eating too much, you're gonna put on weight. If you're eating too less, obviously you lose weight, but eating too less sometimes could stuff up, especially with people like, low testosterone as well, right? I have a lot of males that come to me that are eating like 1,100, 1,200 calories to lose weight, but they're not understanding that's obviously stuffing their metabolism, right? There's obviously decreasing their testosterone levels as well, and it's not good at all. But nutrition is so important just for life, for energy and what you eat.
Well, let's talk about quality nutrition, because nutrition's important, but what are you eating? Like what is it? You can go and eat nutrition, but if you're not eating the right things, how's that gonna fuel your energy? How's that gonna help you be better overall in your well-being?
Yeah.
quality nutrition is such a thing that I've been diving into lately. You know, going organic, eating simple, not eating out as much, you know, and that affects all areas. You know, you save money, this, that. But having quality nutrition, I think that's a really important point to talk about.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, obviously quality nutrition is like getting quality sleep. Exactly the same thing. People saying they're getting good nutrients, right? I mean, getting good sleep, but are you getting quality sleep? Yeah, I'm eating good, I'm eating clean, I'm eating healthy, but are you having quality food, right? And as you mentioned, organic, as you mentioned, things like grass-fed instead of grain-fed, you know what I mean? Like, things like that's very, very important, because what you eat is how you feel. If you feel, it's like a car, right? Our body's like a car, which is what I tell my clients, right? If you're taking yourself to the petrol station, you're filling up your car, right? Let's just say our body's like a Ferrari, right? Now, if you're fueling that Ferrari with what we have in Australia is 91, 95, 98, 98 being the premium, right? So a lot of people are doing is they have this Ferrari, they have this body, right? But they're fueling themselves with the low amount of not good quality petrol. Hence why they're running on low fuel. They're feeling crap, they're feeling lethargic, they're feeling shit about themselves, right? So by improving the fuel, by improving the quality of the nutrient, they're gonna feel 10 times better overall. So that's a good analogy to use. Think about your body as a car. If you're driving a Ferrari right now, would you put 98 good quality fuel, or would you put 91? And I'm pretty sure you say, I want to put the high amount of quality fuel in there so this car can run at the best and it can be primed, it can feel amazing. That's another one. Yeah.
I guess as well, when it comes to quality nutrition, that also falls under environment, which is yet another pillar of the 7.
Yeah.
Environment is a really important pillar for your health, because not only emotionally your environment affects the inside, but also your food. Like, if you are eating bad food, crap water, which water's, you know, it goes into gut health too. All of this stuff goes into each other. The shit that's in the air, the shit that's in our water, the shit that's in our food. Like, you have to be quality at all times if you can. Like, obviously it's not as accessible as what we'd like, but if you can do the best that you can to have quality, that's going to affect all areas of your life. Because environment, health, food, nutrition. If you're A+ in these areas, you're going to be A+ in every other area.
Definitely, yeah. Environment's so important, 100%. Environment's very important, so especially like, for environment could be getting into nature also, right? A lot of people don't get into nature, right? This is something that I want to start getting into now. Going for bushwalks, get into nature, breathing fresh air, right? Getting your hands on good bacteria, you know, bad bacteria is good as well, good bacteria. You know, getting yourself into your feet being grounded, right? Get into the soles of the earth, you know, get into the touching the soil, touching the plants. I know it sounds a bit fucking weird, but it's so important, because when you're in nature, your stresses drop straight away, right? When you think about environmental, we've got environmental stresses as well, right? Things that happen, right? So, and like you mentioned about water, right? I was chatting to about a client about water the other day. Like, guys, if you notice what's in your tap, right? If you look in your tap, right? Your pipes are fucking disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. They're full of heavy metals. They're full of a lot of copper, which is not good for the body, right? They're full of rust, right? If you saw a picture, it's absolutely disgusting, right? So I always try and turn, just like how we use the analogy of the car, right? If we are fueling our car with shit quality fuel, it's not going to run well. Just like us, right? If we're putting shit water into our system, you know, that's full of heavy metals, we're not going to run, we're not going to perform at our very best. We're going to have a lot of gut issues, and that could lead into health concerns later down the track.
And you can see how that environment goes into nutrition. Do you know what I mean? What you put in, you're going to get out.
Everything all entwines with health as well. So, like, going back to that, just make sure what you're eating is very important. You know, what you're drinking is what is important. What you're listening to, what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, your morning routine, your evening routine, that all intertwines into that. Make sure that you're setting yourself up in a good, healthy, hygienic environment to optimize your health.
So what would be your perspective on recovery? Because that's important too. So what would be your tell?
Yeah, so recovery is a massive topic. Now, the reason why recovery is so important, depending on what you are. If you're an athlete, recovery is so important, right? If you're someone that is building muscle, right? Recovery is so important. If you aren't recovering, you aren't going to build muscle, you aren't going to build strength, right? But recovery is also important, especially if you're someone that's a business owner, entrepreneur as well, which I work with all my clients. We chat really about recovery, like saunas, optimizing their sleep, right? The food they're eating, like they're getting enough protein as well, having ice baths, magnesium baths. All these things are so important for recovery. But one of the most important things we did chat about was sleep, right? In terms of recovery, sleep is one of the most biggest things, right? Now, obviously we don't want to dive back into it because we spoke about it, but you have to, when you guys need to understand, sleep is not just sleep for 8 hours. It's very important to sleep for 8 hours, right? It is quality, but you need to sleep for 8 hours to go through the stages of sleep, right? You need to be able to do that, right? Because you've got 4 stages of sleep, right? But the most important stages of sleep is getting into that deep, restful sleep, right? And also the REM, so rapid eye movement. This is when we're going to optimize our testosterone, optimize our recovery. This is when dreams take place. This is when we recover well. This is when we lower down our cortisol. This is so important to get into this restful state. A lot of people, they sleep into this light sleep, right? Which is stage 1 of our sleep, light sleep, right? They sleep for 8 hours. They have spent all this time in this light sleep. And this is why they say, oh, I had 8 hours sleep last night, but I'm still waking up tired. I'm still waking up crap. It's because they're not getting to that 4th stage of sleep, which is that rapid eye movement, which is so important.
So I heard, and yeah, 100% you're right, but I heard that sleep has more to do with your day than it does to do with your night. So what I mean by that is if you're highly stressed and you've got so much shit going on through the day and your nervous system is so overactive, that's going to affect your sleep. People think, I can't sleep, what's going on tonight? It's not about the night. It's about what you've done through the whole day to get to that point of now I can rest and allow my body to relax.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? So I think people don't understand that as well. Sleep has everything to do with the day, more so than the night. Would you agree?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like obviously night wind down routine is very important. But yes, during the day, because if you're doing what you do during the day will affect your night routine as well. For example, if you're having a coffee, right, at 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, as we know, the half-life of caffeine is 8 to 10 hours, right? So we're having our last coffee at 4. The time we get back into that sleep at night, we go to sleep at 9-10 o'clock. That coffee is still going to be wiring us. That coffee is still going to be kicking in. So it's going to stop us from getting that deep, restful sleep. So that's during the day. But also getting sunlight first in the morning is so important, because getting sunlight first in the morning is going to limit all that drowsiness, right? When you wake up in the morning, you feel tired, you feel out of it, your drowsiness. Getting that sunlight, that morning sunlight, getting that sun straight in the eyes, straight in the face, straight in the skin, right, is going to help us wake up. Eliminate that drowsiness and boost up this energy to get us ready for the day.
I think it helps mental health too. Like you can't ever go in the sun and feel depressed. Like it's just not possible.
No.
It releases chemicals in your brain and all these dopamine effects and hormone releases that you literally can't feel unhappy when you sit in the sun and bathe in the sun.
Oh, it's so good, especially when you spend 7 hours in the sun.
You always feel tired after the beach or whatever it is.
Well, think about it. Have you ever know when you go in the sun for 4 or 5 hours, right? And then you go to bed that night, you switch off the light, right? You're straight into that serotonin, straight into that melatonin conversion, and you just knock out like a light, right? But like you said, so important for mental health. That's another pillar, right?
That's the final pillar.
Flowing through it, we're working out, we're flowing through it. So yeah, obviously mental health, getting sun. If you want to improve your mental health, sun, vitamin D is so important, right? That's why a lot of countries, you look at the coldest countries like England and all these things that don't get enough vitamin D deficiency, they're depressed, they have mental health, right? If you look at things that have the most suicidal rates in the world, it's more the coldest countries. Because they don't get enough vitamin D in their systems. Yep. Wow, learning something. So yeah, vitamin D is very important for mental health, right? Obviously B vitamins as well is important, but vitamin D is so important, right? Having enough vitamin D coming through our system, that's going to help with mood enhancer, right? It's going to help us feel overall happy. It's going to relieve those endorphins as well. Just like how you get sun. When you get sun, straight away your stress goes down. You feel awesome, you feel great. Especially for guys, right? Getting that sun is really going to help us drop our cortisol. And as we know, when our cortisol drops, what goes up is our testosterone levels as well. So that's a natural way to boost your testosterone also.
Look, I think as well, when you get a handle on your mental health, you approach things differently.
Yep.
can you think of a time that your mental health wasn't in, tip-top condition, which it never really is, but if you can remember a time back when you were at your somewhat lowest and how you were acting and behaving versus a time where you were performing at, a really good position, what would be the difference in between both? Like, how would you feel at your lowest and what things would you do versus when you're performing at your best?
Yeah. So what do you mean? So if I'm at a lowest?
Yeah. What things were you do? Yeah. What things were you doing?
Yeah. So if I have been at a low point in my life, if I'm going to be honest with you guys in the audience as well, I think we've all been and experienced a low point of our life. So the best thing to do is obviously understand why you're at that low point. Right? A lot of people experience things in their life, hence why they get to that low point. But the reason why I was kind of a low point is because business was just busy. I wasn't looking after my health, my physical health. My weight was increasing. I was putting a lot of body fat on. That means my testosterone was reducing as well. I wasn't being social, wasn't looking after myself, spending time with friends and family. You know what I mean? My sleep was very, very poor. Sleeping like 3-4 hours per night. My recovery was shit. I just thought overall crap, right? So we talk about the 7 pillars of health. I wasn't doing any of them. So once I started diving into, my sleep, right? When I started diving into my nutrition, my gut health, getting my blood work done as well. It's another thing, getting my blood work done, optimize, see if there's anything I'm low in. Testing my thyroid, my vitamin D levels that we talked about, our mental health, right? Dive into our zinc levels for energy. Once I started diving into all these topics, I just realized that my energy just started increasing, my mental health started increasing, I felt better about myself, anxiety, depression started reducing. And just by diving into your health, it's just absolutely incredible. Health is wealth.
It is. And this is why you help people in your industry, because you've been there at that point and you've learned so much. It's like you've become an expert at how to get results at these.
It's true, just what you said. I was thinking about the other day, I'm like, why did I open up Prime Performance Coaching? Like, why did I want to do Prime Performance Coaching? Because obviously, as a business owner, entrepreneur myself, right, I've been at that point where where you're tired, you're low, you're stressed, you're overweight, you have low sex drive, low testosterone, low energy, you feel crap overall, right? And with obviously those 7 pillars of health, which I chatted about, diving into your gut health, blood work, supplementation, sleep, energy, right? Training, fitness, movement. My life just started increasing, right? Not increasing, my energy started increasing. My mood started increasing. I was making more money in my business. My time management was good. I was more productive. I had a clearer mind. All these health issues started eliminating. And I felt overall so good about myself, right? And that's why I went into becoming a health coach. This is why I want to help these entrepreneurs and businessmen feel what I'm feeling now at the moment, which is like primal, feeling absolutely good, because I've experienced that low point, right? And I know how to get to where I am right now at the moment. So I love, that's it.
You've gone through the hard yards to learn what works, what doesn't. You understand these, and this is why we talk about these pillars. They're from experience.
Yep.
And all of these pillars intertwine with each other.
Yep.
They literally, you can't have one and not the other.
Yep.
Like, they're all affecting each other.
Yep.
What are pillars? They hold things up.
Yep.
They hold things
like
stable.
Concrete slabs, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Pillars are stabilities.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? And that's why they're called pillars.
Pillars are so
they keep
important.
us stable.
Yeah. For example, like for example, as business owners, like obviously what we chat about is obviously building the pillars before you want to increase your business, right? If your pillars aren't strong, if your concrete slab's not strong, right, you're going to have a poor business model, poor business plan is going to suffer, right? Just like health, but health and business very, very intertwined, right? If you want to build $1 million business, you want to make a shitload of money in your business. If you haven't got your pillars set right, if you haven't got your health right, if you haven't laid that concrete nice and solid, that you're in routine, your health is in routine, right? Everything, you're feeling awesome, right? If you don't do that, your business is going to fall down, right? If your health goes down, your business goes down. This is why health is wealth. Health is so, so important. Health before business, that's what I always say. Because if you put business before health, which I have done, your business will come down, your health will come down, and you're just going to feel overall crap. So what I've learned from experience is set your health right, make sure your health is perfect, make sure your health's right, then you can build your business.
Well, if you're functioning at 50% and all you're putting out is 50%, what are you going to get back?
Yep.
50%.
Yep.
So if you're at your best and you're putting in all that effort, you're going to be getting that back
100%.
because you have the energy to do so.
Yep.
And that analogy as well, put the mask on yourself before you put it on someone else. How can you help anyone else if you're not able to breathe.
100%.
It's just not going to work.
Very true. Very, very true. Yeah.
So you would say with Prime Performance Program, because this is a really, really, this is a really important product, I think, because it's not really on the market.
Yeah.
I haven't seen, at least. My business is different to yours, and I think it's best that I like to know where you're at with your program and business. Because I can give you my input on mental health and all of that, but this is a whole experience that you're doing.
Yep.
You're doing literally the whole well-being of somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I love working with businessmen, entrepreneurs. I absolutely love it because I've been there, I've done it before. I've experienced what they're experiencing currently right now at the moment. I know the pain points they're experiencing because I've experienced the pain points. But for me, with Prime Performance Coaching, I've come up with a solution. And
are these the things that you wished you had at that time?
Well, I wish I had someone like me at my time when I was at my low point, right? I wish I had a coach that was able to help me improve my health, right? Because at the point, I didn't know what to do for my health. I just thought, go to the gym, move my body, but that's not enough, right? Obviously, exercise is 10% of everything, right? Exercise, moving your body is something, number one. But look into your blood work, your sleep, your hormones, all that stuff is so, so important. So, yeah, I wish I had someone when I was at my low point, but I've experienced it the hard ways. I've done my own research as a coach myself, as a health coach myself. And that's why I turned this awesome Prime Performance program into like a 12-week program, which I can help people come to me with pain points and help them optimize their health, eradicate their health issues, which we spoke about, the pillars of health, because they notice a significant difference in the change. I'm so passionate about helping these people because, like I said, I've been there, I've done it, I know what they're feeling, and now I'm tackling all those areas, and I'm here to help them. So yeah. That's awesome. So yeah. No, it's all good. So let's finish off this podcast. There's a really good chat today. I know we obviously covered all the 7 pillars of health, which is great.
So let's just label them before we finish off. Maybe in future we can go into more each one individually. I don't know, but let's just label them. So we've got first one, sleep. Sleep.
So make sure you guys get into that deep quality sleep, right? Make sure you guys are not just sleeping. Make sure you're getting you guys into deep quality sleep. That's number one. Yeah.
Then we've got fitness.
Yeah. Moving. Find something that you love every single day. Move for half an hour, 1 hour per day. Yeah.
Agreed. Then we've got nutrition.
Yep. So with nutrition, you want to make sure you're having good, high quality foods, right? Good nutrient dense foods that agree with your digestion, that agree with your gut health, that don't disagree with your gut health. That's very, very important. Remember, what you eat is how you feel. Just use that analogy, right? If you're fueling your body with shit quality fuel, you're going to feel overall crap. So make sure you're really diving into what you're eating on a day-to-day basis.
Correct. Then we've got the mental health.
Yeah, mental health. Obviously, what we both spoke about. Yeah.
Then we've got environment.
Yep. Yeah, it's incredible what we spoke about. Get out in nature. Make sure you're having high quality water. Right, make sure obviously environmental stresses, environmental factors, make sure you're reducing that, right? Set up your room for a deep quality sleep, set up your environment, nice cool room. That's very, very important for overall.
We've got recovery.
Yeah, recovery is another one. There's so many, right? Recovery is probably one of the most important things, right? So make sure you get into that deep quality sleep. Like we mentioned, like 2 hours of REM, 2 hours of deep. Make sure you implement some saunas throughout the week. That's gonna reduce your stress, especially if you're an athlete, a bodybuilder, power builder, power lifter as well. It's very important to get into that sauna to help promote that testosterone, that recovery, and obviously you can do like some light stretching in there as well.
And look, I think it's beyond physical too. I think recovery is, having your social life and having balance and just having that time to switch off from what's going on. Recovery is also just stopping and relaxing.
Also, staying on that point, like recovery is obviously recovery is like you've got the central nervous system. So with the nervous system, quickly, you've got the central nervous system, and it breaks down into 2 parts, right? You've got the sympathetic, which is the rest and digest, and you've got parasympathetic, which is fight or flight, right? Sorry, other way around, right? So let me say that again. So you've got the CNS, you've got the sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight, and you've got parasympathetic nervous system, which is rest and digest, right? Rest and digest is recovery. But a lot of people are spending a lot of time in a sympathetic state, which is fight or flight. They're always stressed, they're always wind up, right? But don't get me wrong, there's good stress out there, right? In order to build muscle, you need to cause stress in the muscle in order for growth, right? For example, if you're out in the jungle and a lion comes around and run into you, you can't be in a parasympathetic state. You gotta go switch to a sympathetic state, which is fight or flight, fight that lion, run away, because otherwise you're gonna kill yourself. That's why good stress is important. But sometimes if we are in a sympathetic state due to environmental stresses, work stresses and that, this is when it's not good for us, especially for our testosterone as well, right? So then we have to make sure we're switching to a parasympathetic state, which is rest and digest, which is things like sleep, sauna, recovery, right? Looking at what stresses in our life and tackling those stresses as well, while we're eating as well, right? Because if we, stress is a massive one, right? If we are eating bad quality foods, that's going to cause stress in our digestion as well.
Which causes stress in your gut health, which your gut health then sends signals to your central nervous system, and then it's just all
all big twines, right? So central nervous system is a massive bubble.
Gut health is the last pillar as well. So you've got our 7 pillars there, how they all affect each other. They're all in relationship. That's what I like to say. The mind body are in a relationship.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So great conversation today. There's the camera. It's good. We've had a deep quality chat about 7 pillars of health, guys. So,
and this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Tip of the iceberg, guys. But by improving on those things that me and Kat spoke about today, just improving those quality sleep, you're going to feel 10 times better. So, well, Kat, tell me a bit about you and how we can find you on social media. I know, Kat, like we mentioned, you're a mindset coach. So, if you're someone out there that wants to learn some information, how can they find you?
So Instagram, Catsia, CATTSIA. That's basically where I hold a lot of my content, and it is growing. Come in, have a look at what I got. I don't know.
Come and give me a follow, I guess.
Come give me a follow.
Exactly, guys. And like I said, follow this. Follow the podcast. Give us a like, subscribe, and share. You can follow me on Coach Damien Jardine on Instagram as well. Like I said, I'm going to be doing more of these podcasts, more content coming in 2023. Here to help you, here to provide value. So if you have any questions, anything that you want me and Kat to talk about, or myself to talk about, please jump on, send some topics. I'm more than happy to speak up about it. But apart from that, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.